follow.
There are tens of people that watch this podcast.
Two more just poured in.
That's right. Two
just poured in.
Two more viewers just poured in. And with that, welcome to the Afterthoughts podcast. We have a great episode today. We're joined by Randy Phillips.
Hello.
Pastor.
Randy Come on.
Artist, a friend. But before we talk about Randy, our producer, Jacob Phillips,
Yes.
related somehow, we haven't quite determined.
Yes, they are.
We're whiteboarding it out. Jacob has come to steal Randy's thunder on this episode because we're going to talk about him first. This is Jacob's final episode with us here at Afterthoughts, which is a bummer because it was his idea.
Right.
The whole thing in the first place. But it's awesome, too, because Jacob and his wife have felt like they wanted to go live in Colorado, called up there. So they're moving to Denver right when the summer starts, strategically, incredibly wise.
That's smart.
And they're going to raise Beckham and whatever else happens in that family up in Colorado. Jacob's going to be on our creative team up in Denver, which is awesome. But for all of our Afterthoughts family, clap from your homes.
Yeah.
This man.
Jacob. Love you, dude.
This dude has put so much into this podcast and so many other things in our church, told so many stories. Just this past weekend ago, he had edited 30-some baptism stories, testimonies of people. He's been behind the scenes as he is right now. Likes to be behind the camera, but has helped tell the story of what God's doing in this church in so many mighty ways through his amazing creative gifts. So thank you.
Thank you, Jacob.
We love you. And thanks for coming up. We were sitting on a dock on LBJ.
Well, really quick, Jacob, can you put a picture of Jacob?
Right here.
So as Ethan describes the story on the dock, people see Jacob.
So we're sitting on a dock at LBJ. We're about to
Maybe
go
put
wake
a picture
surf.
of a dock just so people can.
Yeah,
Sure.
also
We have
visualize it.
probably a picture from that trip.
Okay.
And he was like, hey, I want to pitch some ideas to you guys. And we sat on that dock and he pitched the idea for a podcast where the three of us and sometimes great guests would get a chance to talk life.
He failed
faith.
on the last one.
And for Jacob's last episode, we got Randy Phillips,
come on.
his long lost cousin.
Because nobody else was available.
We wanted to let you guys know that
That's all I got.
the DNA test came back and you guys are cousins.
Are we?
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
guys.
Jacob.
Cousins.
Nephew.
We sent someone to take a blood sample of Randy weeks ago.
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, for what? And we wanted to know if you guys are cousins,
we
and
are.
you
He
are.
came back.
So
Oh,
congratulations, Randy Phillips, Jacob
Fantastic.
Phillips. We love you, Jacob Phillips.
Yeah, bro.
Today we're going to get to know Randy. And the most important question I can ask first is your sports teams. We need to know, who do you root
That's
for?
right.
Because we talk a lot of sports on this podcast. So who do you root for?
Pro, college, what?
Both.
Bring it.
Yes.
Okay, well,
Yes.
I'm a UT
There we go.
football fan.
Yeah,
Yes,
you've had some of
okay.
those guys on your podcast.
I have.
Yeah.
Man, I'm burnt orange.
Okay.
Now, you boys are Colorado Buffaloes.
Yes, sir.
That's right. We're in the Coach Prime era.
Oh.
We're loving it.
Well, I like him.
Yeah.
But he's going to come to the Cowboys.
That's my
Wow.
And
greatest
that's
fear.
and that's my second favorite.
Okay.
Okay.
The
Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys is insufferable.
It's been tough.
Seasons.
Couple
but
decades,
Coach
yeah.
Prime will be
We
coming
know
next
about
year,
that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
and he's going to take us up.
And you're going to draft Shadur.
Yes, Shadur.
That could happen.
because they're not going to re-sign, Dak.
That could happen.
No, Dak's got to go.
Shadur,
That would be devastating.
Shadur's going to be awesome in the NFL. When
He
he
is.
has an actual offensive line in front of him, he's not going to know what to do with all that
he
time.
is not.
It's going to be amazing.
And then you boys are going to be Cowboy fans.
We'll be torn. Well, as long as they're not playing the Broncos. If Shadur and Coach Prime are there.
On that Sunday, you don't
On
have
that,
to be.
yep.
But,
Okay.
Yeah.
and that's
We'll
it.
have to
go. We'll have to
Cowboys,
go to
that's
the
it.
Cowboys
Yeah,
game.
and
Football
a
guy.
quarter LSU Tiger.
Okay.
Because I was born in Louisiana, but
Yeah.
Born in Louisiana.
but I've lived here all my life in Austin. So
Austin's home.
3/4 Longhorn, quarter LSU Tiger.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So there's sports. Let's talk about family.
Yeah.
Give us the roster.
Oh man,
You got a good
my
family.
beautiful wife,
Yeah.
Denise,
Denise.
40 years.
That's awesome.
I love her, how her hand fits in mine. She is my sweetheart. Love her. She's put up with me for a long time.
I was going to say.
40 years.
40
That's how long
years.
the Israelites were in the desert.
I know, and she's been going around and around this mountain.
Yeah. And Denise will
She
suffer
is-
for my name, said the Lord.
Yeah.
40 years ago.
There is a crown
there's
in
a
heaven
promised
for
land
her.
waiting for her.
Oh, there
yeah.
he is.
Yeah, you're going to be the head of
You
landscaping.
know, will I be married to you in heaven? Like, I think so. Like,
Are you sure?
She's like, that's a long time.
that's a long.
It's
I've
forever.
got two beautiful daughters, Garland, my beautiful daughter, and Lily Pearl.
Nice.
Pearl. I like
So
that.
one of them is in their 30s and the other is 21. In between, Phillips, Craig, and Dean.
Phillips,
Yes.
Craig, and Dean. That's on my list.
A lot of traveling.
A lot of traveling.
Okay.
That was smart to not just have a couple kids while you're on the road.
Right.
Exactly. So my wife
Strategic.
said, I don't want to be a single parent anymore.
Right.
I said, okay.
It's fair.
So when you get your behind back in Austin, well, think about this.
Kids
Yes.
complicate things. That's why Ryan's managed to stay single all these
Yeah,
years.
that's been my strategy this whole
Ryan.
time.
That's how you.
Good man.
I'm trying.
I love your new book.
Well, thank
yeah.
you, Randy.
Can't wait to read it. You just gave it to
Yep,
me.
yep.
But I can't wait to read it.
Well,
You can already
thank
tell
you.
it's a good one.
Thanks for the encouragement. Thanks for coming alongside me.
Yeah.
And that really means a lot.
You're amazing.
Thanks, man.
And you're approximately in your what? Your 30s? Your
34 years old. So I've been single for 33.8 of those 34 years.
33.8.
He's crushing it.
There was a 2-month stint like 10, 12 years ago.
Okay.
Other than that, it's just been single.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
And he's
Love
helping
it.
a lot of people
Yes,
in their
you are.
lives with relationships and singleness. And
Thank you.
Yeah. Trying to help. Trying to help make a seat at the table for single people in the church.
That's outstanding because as a pastor, I'm just like, the greatest gift that you single people can have is a companion. That's my only go-to.
Yeah.
And for those, and the other one is like, go to Red Rocks.
This is true. This is true.
perfect.
There are a lot of single people in the lobby
I
at Red
can't wait
Rocks.
to read the book and
Yeah.
pass the book along and
Well, thank you,
encourage
Randy.
people to buy your book because singleness is a great gift.
Yeah, that's right. That's
on.
right.
Indeed.
But how do you do that?
How'd you do it the right way?
It's
I know,
been cool
which is
for
big.
him to speak into that in sermons and talk about singleness, but not even as like this is killing time and how do we get you from here to the next stage, but rather how do we live to the fullest and walk in your
That's
calling
right.
and find contentment in the here.
Right here.
Right
That's
here.
it.
Love
Right
that.
here.
Remember,
He's
Yeah.
about the only person I've met that's done that. So it's he's the right voice for it.
You're
That's
the
for
man.
sure.
That's
All
it,
right.
man.
0% content
Yeah.
in singleness. Ryan's.
Yeah.
I needed your book a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so my mom is a big Afterthoughts fan. Thankfully,
Shout out
Hi,
to
Mom.
Andy.
she asked like, "What's coming up on Afterthoughts?" And I said, "Well, Randy Phillips is coming on." She goes, "Well, you tell him there will be a Phillips, Craig, and Dean fan watching because I used to listen. I've listened to all of it."
Oh,
So,
I like your mom.
but tell us about that.
Yeah.
You're not just a pastor. You have a music career. You guys
Yeah.
are still going.
We're still going.
Tell us about how that started.
Well, I grew up, in the church, preacher's kid. And so, when you get old enough, you're on the stage. You're playing drums, you're singing. So I did all that. And people say, you need to have an album. And so I just thought, fine. I started writing. They weren't very good, but I started writing. Like I got enough to do an album. So I did an album, solo. It went, I'm proud to say it went aluminum. It went aluminum.
There we go.
Aluminum.
Yeah. So 87
87
copies.
87 copies. And then
To
82
my family.
followers. To your
And I have 82 followers. So this guy in Nashville heard my solo album, record company owner. He said, "Hey, won't you come up here and talk to the record company? We like what we're hearing." So they flew me up there. They asked me a bunch of questions, their marketing team and different people, and they said, "Why don't you go to lunch? We'll have an answer for you." So I came back after lunch. They're like, "We really like your stuff, but, what would you think about forming a group?" Like a group? Yeah, like a duo, trio, quartet. So you don't want just me? No. I said, well, let me go think about it. Flew home to Austin, and I was so disappointed. I'm like, shoot. So I started thinking about, well, who would I even invite? So Dan Dean was another preacher's kid, great singer, great songwriter. Sean Craig, another great preacher's kid. I thought, let me get those two fellas. We got together. We put 3 songs on a cassette. You've never seen a cassette in your life.
I've seen
No,
one.
we've seen them.
You've seen them.
We had them. Yeah.
You had them?
Childhood, yeah.
Childhood.
I think I saw one at a museum.
We used to play a little. We used to play a little music, and the first thing I had was a way to record. You'd plug your guitar, and you could record it
Yeah.
right on it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then you'd always pull it out, and the tape would be.
Oh, yeah.
everywhere.
You get the pencil and
Oh,
take up
yeah.
the slack.
Tough.
Our first time
Oh,
ever
yeah.
recording. Yeah, we did.
That's
on,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we put 3 songs on a cassette, set them up there to the same record company president. He said, well, come do a showcase for us. I said, what's that? It's a little concert. I said, well, we only know 3 songs. He said, learn 7 more. So he said, we need your 10. So we went up there, did this little thing. It was horrible, pathetic, pitiful. So we thought we'd bombed, and we went home, 2 weeks went by, and one of my friends, one of the singing group guys, Dan Dean, said, have you heard from him? I said, no. He said, why don't you just call him and tell him thank you? So I called him, like, hey, didn't work out, but thank you for giving us the opportunity. He said, what are you talking about didn't work out? Let's do an album. Whoa. What?
Whoa.
Wow.
Like, what were you waiting for?
Unexpected.
So, most people, they tour for years and then get a record deal. We had never sung together.
Wow.
Except those 3 songs.
Wow.
And so we were just figuring it out on the fly, that first album. They got this young and upcoming producer. They got him on the cheap, which was important. We supplied our own wardrobe. I said, who's doing wardrobe? You are. I just bought some stuff, Costco or somewhere, and just supplied that. And then, what about makeup? No makeup. Okay, fine. We did that first album. 4 songs went straight to number 1.
What?
On that first album.
First album.
Whoa.
Straight to number 1, and then it was just like, we were working in a church, and then, like, hey, line 1 is, somewhere from Omaha, Nebraska. Like, hello? Hey, can you guys come sing? Like, we didn't know agent, no booking, nothing, just.
Wow.
And that was 30 years ago.
30 years.
Wow.
That's incredible.
So cool.
These guys had a high school band called Chasing Rabbits, and their dream is what you have lived that
Chasing Rabbits.
they never got
That's
close
right.
to. I
It never happened.
I've tried to figure out what's the difference because you went talent.
No.
It's talent.
No,
It's
not
talent, charisma, likability, and likability.
Well,
that's the
I don't know
difference.
if I'd have
Those are
gone
the
with
3 things we're missing.
Chasing rabbits.
Maybe that was our error.
We
I
yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird name.
It was a
Weird
a
band.
bad punk rock band
Ah,
from
so
the
that's probably
early
good.
2000s.
Yeah, they needed to go.
Well, there's still time.
We did our own wardrobe too.
Not for Chasing Rabbits. There's not.
No.
The sun has set.
30 years.
30 years,
So
man.
Wow.
you've been. Wait. First of all, my first question. Do you remember the first song to go to number 1?
Yeah, I do.
What song?
I was in my bed. It was 6 o'clock in the morning. We didn't have caller ID back then. If I had it, I would have answered the phone. It was Dan Dean.
Okay.
He was in Dallas, Texas. The number 1 radio station in the country was in Dallas, KLTY. He called me 6 o'clock. I'm like, hello? Randy, listen to this. And he puts the phone in his radio, which was his alarm. And it was playing a song called Turn Up the Radio and Sing a Song of Sympathy. Turn up the radio. And that song started being played by KLTY, and every Christian record station in the country kind of listened to KLTY.
Yeah.
They all added the song.
Oof, that's
Straight
awesome.
to number 1.
Wow.
So that was our first number 1. Then the second one, cause his favorite song of all is the song of the redeemed.
Wow.
That was the second
Come
one.
Man,
on.
I don't know if anyone's ever sang on this podcast. Thank you.
Not well.
Well, my dad told me
I
one
sang
time,
Where
he
the
said,
Green Grass
listen.
Grows by Tim McGraw.
That doesn't count as singing.
My dad told me one time, he said, listen, if you're talking and going well, just break into song. So I
Yeah.
sing a lot.
Yeah.
That's great. You sing in sermons?
I do.
Yeah, why not? You get the gift.
Because when it's just tanking.
Just take.
So that's your
Oh,
tell.
that reminds me of a song.
That's your tell that it's not going well.
That's
Sing
what I'm-
right now.
you hear me
That's what I'm
Randy's
lacking
singing.
Is
Not good.
Is sort of that parachute.
Talent.
Talent.
You lack that.
Right.
That's your
something,
problem.
something I can do when the sermon's tanking.
Yeah, you got to find something else. Can't
Maybe
be
I
singing.
should sing.
I don't think you've done it. And
I could juggle. Guys,
could
that reminds
juggle.
me
Try
of
that.
juggling.
You guys ever feel like you're just juggling a whole bunch of things in life? Tap dance.
let me show you.
Banner waving.
There you
That's
go.
right.
Waving.
You could do that.
Yes, I could.
You could do
I
banners.
30 years. You guys still play now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
We were
That's
in Red
fun.
Rocks.
Oh yeah,
You
I put
did.
that on here. You sang at Red Rocks Amphitheater,
Oh, my Lord.
wow.
the namesake of this church.
Yes.
Red
Okay.
Rocks Amphitheater.
What was the experience like?
I've just seen it, Netflix concerts and things. I couldn't. I just stood on that stage and I'm like, cannot be.
Yeah.
Is this heaven?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a concert
amazing.
venue from heaven.
And then just, people all the way up there. Like, how far does that go?
Yeah, just into the night. It just kind of
And
disappears.
it's such a slant. Like,
Yeah.
this is so
Oh, yeah.
unsafe. Because our fans
Yeah.
are very rowdy. Mosh pit, the whole deal.
Oh, yeah. You guys get crazy.
Oh, yeah. Body
Same with
surfing.
Chasing Rabbits.
That's right.
Chasing Rabbits.
Yeah,
They-
very
so-
similar crowd.
If you ever go back to Red Rocks, would you consider having Chasing Rabbits open for you?
Yes, we would.
Okay. It's a
We
consideration.
will do it.
Can't wait.
You got
I'll
that
be
right,
there front
Jacob?
row.
Okay.
Phillips, Craig, and Dean will close for Chasing Rabbits.
That's right. Chasing Rabbits kicks the night
Yes,
off.
there you go. That's how,
Get
that's
the
how
fans.
we...
Yeah.
You get
On
it
the
going.
banner.
Closer for Chasing
And we'll
Rabbits.
close
That's
for
a good
them.
Big
strategy.
Chasing Rabbits banner and then closing for Chasing Rabbits.
At some point, we'll just get out of the way. We'll let you guys close the night out.
Yeah, like
Send
we'll do a couple
everybody
songs.
home.
Yeah. Revelation song, and that's it.
We grew up watching this VHS tape of a John Tesh concert at Red Rocks.
Exactly.
Amphitheater.
You know
Yeah.
it?
Oh, yes.
1994.
Where it rains.
Yeah,
and
oh, yeah.
I remember him and his wife took out a second mortgage on their house to rent it and pay for it, and then it rained on them. But that turned into becoming the story of the night.
Beautiful.
Man.
Yeah, when the orchestra left for like
So
3
good.
songs, but the band stayed there, and then
so
it
cool.
poured rain, and then when the rain stopped, the orchestra came back out.
That's it.
So when we moved to Denver, I mean, we were probably, like 13,
10,
12 and 13 or
12,
something
yeah.
like that, and we visited Red Rocks Amphitheater just to go
So
hike
beautiful.
it. It was like,
Stunning.
oh my gosh.
That was a bucket list.
We walked up
Yeah.
on stage like, this is where John Tesh's piano
Yeah.
was right. This is where the guitar guy stood.
So
right
good.
Here. So that's the fact that you guys played there.
That was a
really
bucket. I don't know
cool.
if we'll ever go back, but it was.
Well, you
incredible.
will, because I'm coming on as tour manager. Here's the plan. Chasing Rabbits.
Yes.
Followed for a short medium period by John Tesh
Okay.
while it rains, and then closed by
And we'll
Phillips
close.
Craig and Dean. Obviously, headline is Chasing
Headline
Rabbits.
Chasing
I'm
Rabbits.
big fan.
Yeah, because you got to sell tickets.
And
Chasing
Jacob will
Rabbits
be
is a
living
big-
up there, so he'll come film the whole
Jacob,
thing.
yeah.
Thanks, Jacob.
It's gonna be great.
Can't wait.
It's gonna be a
Man,
beautiful
I'm gonna
thing.
keep that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
Beautiful.
Just, yeah,
Beautiful.
we'll lock
Got
down a
chills.
date.
Again, Randy.
Chills.
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
So 30 years
Yeah.
doing, being in the same group with 2 close friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like an unheard of thing.
Yeah.
For friendships, especially I imagine in the creative scene, maybe music groups.
Yeah.
Is there a music group that's been together with the same people like longer than?
No.
There's not.
No, there's no one who were peers of ours or current that had the same original members.
Wow. That's
for
still
as long
going.
as we have. I don't know how it worked because all 3 of us are pastors, pastor
Okay.
churches,
Yeah.
and we didn't do a lot of Saturday nights. We got to be home for Sunday,
Yeah.
and so that's the prime night. So I don't know. The Lord just good to us.
Wow.
I have a beautiful sister named Karen, but I never had brothers. And so they were my brothers.
Wow.
I mean, like what you have here. It's,
Yeah.
I call y'all Dr. Dre. You got Doug, you got Ryan, you got Ethan. That's Dre.
Okay.
That's brilliant.
Yeah,
Dre.
it is. We'll take that.
So I have Dan and Sean, and I'm telling you, when life was tough, I had those brothers. When life was good, I had those brothers. Accountability, creativity. There's just nothing like a threefold cord.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
can't be broken.
Yeah.
Not easily broken.
That's awesome.
Wow.
I got 2 life advice questions to ask you before we
Oh,
get into a
Lord.
little of your story.
I haven't
First
lived
one.
long enough.
Well, you've been married for 40 years.
Yeah, I have.
Probably should be asking Denise this, but
Definitely Denise.
Can we get
Give us
her on
some
FaceTime right now?
call her in. Here, we can just call her on here.
Hello,
Denise.
Oh,
Yeah, in case you need to call anyone.
that's what I had in high school.
Yeah, it's the same one. Phillips family heirloom. Jacob.
Jacob flew it in.
Give us some marriage advice. 40 years is unheard of also in the day and age we live in. People, I'm officiating a wedding later today. What do I tell somebody and what can I learn as a guy? He's about to hit 10. We're about to hit 10.
Oh, 10.
Speak to us.
10 is where I almost lost my marriage. 10 years. On the road so much, touring. My wife, young, had our daughter. She was a single parent. You get married to be together. And we weren't. And my marriage was falling apart. And God was so good. It's just so good to keep my marriage together. And actually, Dan and Sean helped me. I was a terrible husband. I was arrogant. I was self-serving, selfish. I was a bad husband.
Yeah.
And God broke my heart, put it back together, and I learned to serve my way. So, a serving husband. There's a great book that saved my marriage called His Needs, Her Needs. His Needs, Her Needs. And it's this marriage counselor, Dr. Willard Harley, Harley. And he, with all of his expertise, he found that the top 5 needs of a man and the top 5 needs of a woman are different.
Yeah.
I need physical intimacy. She needs emotional intimacy without the physical. So it's just, when you learn to meet her needs, your needs become met. So it's just, who can serve your way the best into this great marriage? I thought of myself, a very misogynistic guy, patriarchal, just didn't work. But God broke my heart, and thank the Lord for that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Wow.
Oof.
Okay, next question. You're a pastor's kid, and you have pastor's kids.
Yes.
Give me some parenting advice. Because we both talk about having kids who are grown up pastor's kids.
Yeah.
You hear horror stories, but you became a pastor.
I did.
You seem to have a great relationship with your girls.
Yes, I do.
How did you do that?
I don't think it was intentional. I just never treated them any differently than I would whether they were a preacher's kid or not. It just, and for whatever reason, the Lord was good to me. They love church.
Yeah.
They love God's people. They love God. When I get up in the morning, I read I read the Bible through every other year. And so I have a 1-year Bible. It's kind of all beat up now, but I'm sitting there reading through my 1-year Bible. My daughter, who's still in the house, she's going to get her master's degree counseling, but she's sitting there, she's reading through her 1-year Bible. And I just looked at it the other day and I thought, how did this happen? Because it wasn't anything I did. It was nothing I did. I just think having a whole approach, not bringing church problems home with you, not talking about that in front of the kids, not running down your people, your congregants, not talking bad about the ministry, not celebrating a moral failure where you saw something somewhere. Just always lifting up the people of God, lifting up the church, being so, excited about it. I think just kind of seeped in. I can't explain it. I don't know. Just
That's
never
good.
made an exception for them. Like, so you're the preacher's kid, so you've got to get to this level. Just never did that.
Let them be
So
kids.
they serve.
Wow.
They serve. Children's area, worship team. They just serve.
That's awesome.
And I was very blessed. Don't know if that helps you.
That's great. I'm going to tell my wife. Randy said,
do
nothing.
Do nothing. Not one
You
thing.
and God have got this.
You got
I'm going to
this.
trust you guys.
You and Steph just need to stop talking so much smack about Ryan in front of your kids.
Yeah, that's
Tough.
right.
Yeah,
They're
well,
always,
I
every
know.
time
Now,
I'm
Zeke's
over there.
5, he likes to talk trash about Ryan. So,
But
that
Zeke's
is talking about how he's going to get
Yeah.
married before I do and this whole thing,
And he did.
and
one of
he's
those
about
things
to get
you
married
said though
next year.
About not even that sort of spirit of a weird celebration when that church, there's a moral failure there,
Yes.
or that one didn't do as well, because it's somehow in a weird way with the human heart
It
that's
sure
so
does.
broken, it makes you feel a little bit better about yourself when you
Yes.
do that, but it rots something in your heart too.
No doubt.
And it sows seeds that you don't want those to grow.
No doubt.
Yeah.
We just didn't do that. We didn't go
right.
into it in our house.
That's awesome.
Yeah, lifting up
was
the
just
church,
positive.
lifting up the people of God.
And
that's really
at the dinner table or lunch table, that's where your conversations really I had to guard my conversations.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because you kind of relax. And I'm talking to my wife, my daughter's sitting there like, can you believe,
And your family doesn't always want to hear about the church.
They do
You know,
not.
There's a lot of other things to talk
a
about.
whole lot.
A whole lot of things. Okay, talking about church then. All right, so we got a little Phillips, Craig, and Dean story.
Yeah.
Ministry. How did that come about? How did you plant a church? Tell a little of that backstory of being a pastor.
Well, I grew up a preacher's kid, and so my dad was my pastor, my mentor, my father, and I just always felt the call of God on my life. I wasn't sure to what capacity, maybe singing, and that would be it. But then I couldn't get away from the call that God wanted me to pastor. So I just thought it would be my dad's church, great church here in Austin.
Yeah.
But I started planting churches and planted a church in Southwest Austin, about 70 people. And I just felt like I'm supposed to pastor that church. I didn't have any of the information we have today about church planting. And I just went and did it.
Wow.
And the Lord was merciful to help me despite my stupidity. Oh, man. With the knowledge you guys have, you're all brilliant and doing it right, and I just did everything wrong. In spite of me, the Lord was gracious and learned how to pastor. My mother...
That's way too kind. I don't think
you just put us in a whole category we did not belong in. You guys are doing everything
my
right.
My dad loved God. Loves God. He passed away recently, but he loved God. So I got my love of God from my dad, but my mom loved God's people. So I got love of God from my dad, love of God's people from my mom.
Wow.
So I don't see them as bothers, as a burden to bear. I love God's people. I love my congregation. I try to remember names.
Yeah.
Are you good with names?
Try to be.
You're good with names?
I'm okay. I'm a 6 out of 10.
I'm a 5 out of 10.
Okay. Well, you got a lot of people
working
coming
on it.
into your life.
Yeah, we're working on it.
And I just really dug into know their names, know their kids' names. When I can call somebody's name, I just like, wow.
Like here's the acrostic. Like
here's the
Dr.
question.
Dre. Like
How long did the Dr. Dre idea take you to come up with when you met us?
Dr. Dre. So there's 3 of you, so it was puzzling to me, and I was trying to. I know you 2 are brothers, Ethan, Man Bun. So I was just trying to I got to visualize Man Bun. What's Man Bun? Well, what if he shaves the Man Bun? Then what's his name?
I'm thinking about it. I might get a haircut. I don't know.
Whoa.
This
Putting
is
the rumor
first
out
time
there.
you said this publicly, by the way.
Putting the rumor out there.
You sure you
I'm
wanna
just
do
getting
that?
tired
I
of
wish
having
I
long
could
hair.
take it and put it right here.
Well, maybe we could do that.
Where the yarmulke is.
We'll bring you back for
Do a
an
little
episode
trade.
where we cut it off and then we make a
on.
wig.
Put it.
We can make that happen.
Yeah. Anyway,
What was I saying?
I'm distracting us.
That you would take the time to learn their name.
Yeah.
Am I putting pressure on you?
A little bit, but
You
it's good.
just keep putting us in the categories I'm not sure we're supposed to be in.
Pressure makes you do extraordinary things.
That's right.
Extraordinary.
That's
Please,
right.
by all means.
We're better
Your
under
brain,
pressure.
and particularly you guys' brain. Mine is, but your brain, you can retain every bit of information you want to retain. It's just the discipline to do it. There's
good point.
nothing
great.
like when you say to a parent, "And how's little Bobby doing?" Like, what?
Yeah.
He knows about kids.
Yeah.
You can retain whatever information you want to retain.
That's a
It's
good line.
really good line. Because everyone makes excuses.
Not good
just
with
lying.
names.
I'm not
You'd
good with
remember it
names.
if you wanted to.
Oh, well, you know
If you want to.
you know
can.
the whole.
That's good.
You know the Denver
everybody on-
Broncos.
Yeah, that's right.
I can tell you a whole lot of guys in the NFL.
What is the deal with arguably the best quarterback that ever played the game, John Elway?
Yeah.
Can't get a guy at Denver.
We can't get
behind
another
center.
quarterback.
Makes you wonder. Maybe he
Okay.
doesn't want us to find one.
That's
so
right.
He can always be the guy. I don't know. He's kind of out. They've kind of moved him out of any.
I know, but
which is good.
He doesn't want anybody else to have his car dealerships.
That's
is that
right.
it?
He's got-
That could be
He's
it.
very, very withholding with his car dealerships.
Come on, Elway.
Tough times for the Broncos.
Sorry.
Thanks for bringing that up, Randy.
Thank you. I'm
We
sorry.
appreciate that. All right, so you planted Life Family
Yeah.
Yeah.
20 years ago,
Yeah, it was called Life Austin back in the day.
married for 40,
Yeah.
in a band for 30,
Yeah.
pastoring Life Family for 20.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And the church has grown from those 70 people. You guys have locations
Yeah,
all
we
over.
have 75 people now. So it's grown from
incredible.
70
75.
to 75.
Oh,
How did
Randy,
you-
how'd you do it?
How did you find those 5 people?
That was so hard.
Yeah.
But they're solid people.
Like a point. That's an 8%.
You know what he said?
That's right.
Narrow
After
is the
20
gate. Narrow is the
That's
gate.
Yes.
I'm not into quantity like you guys.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I want those
right.
You're a quality
70.
man.
Give me those 5 more.
Give me the real thing.
20
I
years,
want
5 more people.
75. Amazing.
Powerful.
Oh, it's so good.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah, there are 6 churches now.
6 churches
It's about
around
to be
Austin.
7.
That's right. Is that news for your people, or can you put it out there? Or
It's
is it
kind of
some
on the download.
All right.
We'll just leave it there.
Dozens of people listen to this, so don't say it.
Well,
If you
tens
say
of
it on here,
tens,
you're
tens
gonna
of tens.
Yeah.
Are listening.
McConaughey's going to be calling you later. Like, where's the
McConaughey,
location?
where's the 7?
Where is
You didn't
it?
tell me about
You
that.
gotta tell me, Randy.
Where is it?
I have to find out through an Afterthoughts podcast, Pastor Randy.
I find out a lot there, but I didn't expect this.
I never thought.
He's a big fan of this
All
podcast.
right.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
Matthew.
you ready for your call?
His reviews of our last 3 episodes. All right.
All right.
All right.
And that's spot on.
Have you met Matthew McConaughey? No. All right. Well, next time you come back, we'll have him on.
Okay.
Yeah.
He loves to be here.
I
He
get
just couldn't
confused
today.
with him a lot. People come up to me and say,
was that-
Matthew?
Randy.
Was
Get
that
it all.
McConaughey preaching today, or was it Pastor Randy?
Okay, here's a question. Every pastor has to have a sermon in their back pocket
Yes, they do.
at all times. You could be at Papacitas. That's where we ate lunch today. One of our
that was good.
sponsors,
That was real good.
Papacitas Cantina. Thank you so much for sponsoring
Delicious.
this episode. Somebody might be like, hey, Pastor Randy, can you give a word to the table?
Yeah.
You know, like Ryan did. What's your life sermon? Like, if there's one sermon you're going to give, the thing that your heart beats
good
for.
question.
Above all, I mean, what's that sermon for
My
you?
goodness. Oh, great question. Lately, I'm in a season of life. I love your season, by the way. It's just, I'm so glad you're in Austin. My season, I see myself moving out, and I see you guys coming in, this next generation. I couldn't be more proud. But I've been thinking about how will I be remembered? So that's been on my mind a lot, maybe because of the stage of life. How will I be remembered? So Jesus, you know, he made this statement in John. He said, I'm coming to prune you, and the dead branches I'm removing. And I'm like, that'd be a good place to stop. Just take the dead away. And the fruitful branches I'm pruning. Like, oh no.
Yeah.
Who likes pruning?
Wow.
Nobody. Pruning is painful. The people business is bruising.
Wow.
It's bruising. You learn the names. You get in their life, and they're gone. Where'd you go? So
Yeah.
the pruning comes where you start finding out, who are you? Why did you get in this? Were you called to it? Or did you feel like you need to elevate yourself? And I think I don't know if it's my life message, but it's where I am right now. Lord, I accept that you're going to prune me. The dead branches, take that junk off me that's not bearing fruit.
Yeah.
And even the fruitful branches. Oh, you could leave that alone. But he said, no, I want more fruit.
Wow.
You're producing some great stuff. I want more fruit.
Oh.
Pruning is no fun. But man,
Yeah.
when he gets through with you, the fruit that will come. So I don't know if that's my life lesson. It's where I am right now.
That's cool.
Lord, the great gardener, come and you have my permission to prune whatever you want.
Okay, so the key word in that passage, abide or
Yeah.
remain. I feel like that's our job, if you will, is simply, can we just do the remaining?
I
And then
know.
How do you do that? Like, what's the what's that secret? Because you see so many people who don't.
Oh man, ministry, pastoring, what you guys are called to, what you're doing such a great job at. It's so painful, so rewarding.
Yeah.
And so you get to walk through people in their lives, single adults, married people, and you're drawing like multi-generational. It's just so cool. But you get in the weeds with people, you get to see God bring them through things, and then, sometimes they're just, there's a turn and they're gone, and you just like, where are they now? So the disappointment in ministry, it can be, it's real, and it's why, that's why in record numbers pastors are getting out of ministry. The numbers are staggering. I saw a statistic the other day that said 7,000 churches closed last year. 7,000 will close this year. And it is a trend that, I mean, not only churches closing, pastors getting out of ministry. And why are you getting out of ministry? I just can't abide anymore. I just can't. There's nothing coming from that vine. It's not that they're falling away from the Lord. It's just what was given them, what was nurturing them and helping them through the disappointment of the people business.
Yeah.
It just couldn't do it anymore.
Wow.
I heard recently a leadership message based on the Esau Jacob story with the birthright and the bowl of soup, and how Esau traded away his birthright because Jacob had a bowl of soup in the moment when he was hungry.
Good job, Jacob.
Oh, man.
Smart guy.
Jacob.
But it actually says if a calling, if you will, to ministry is similar to a birthright. It's something God has placed on you. And it's a beautiful gift.
It is.
It actually said the reason Esau made the trade was not just because he was hungry. It says he despised his birthright in that moment.
I know.
So he got to a point where this beautiful calling became something he actually despised.
Dang.
And I'm willing to trade it for a bowl of beans.
Yeah, and you don't despise it overnight. I feel like
Interesting.
No. He had been probably, that was a process in Esau's life.
Yeah.
Unregenerated heart that he just couldn't, he wasn't abiding.
So many disappointments add up.
Oh my gosh.
And it's difficult. And
it's paper cuts. It's not like a big gash. Like, you don't like,
Right.
oh, that was a stab and I'm,
Right.
it'll paper cuts, but you can bleed out.
Yeah. Because I read a stat 2 weeks ago that 41%, I think, I could be wrong about that, but 41% of pastors would, if they had a viable option, would do that tomorrow.
A bowl of beans.
Yeah.
Give me a bowl of beans and I'm out.
Just a bowl of beans.
Yeah.
41%.
But yeah, the fact that like this calling that he, if you can go back to that day where I'm called to ministry, I feel that there's a heaviness to it, but also like an honor and a thrill at the same time. But to go from that to one day, slowly but surely, you actually despise this calling.
Wow.
And would trade it.
Man.
Yeah. Or even self-sabotage to get out of it.
From under
you know?
it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
How have you survived all those paper cuts for 20 years? Of
Oh, I didn't sometimes. I got to the end. I see you all's amazing hearts for this city, for God's people and what you're building here. I'm so proud of it. And I love the energy and the passion. And then I'm over here in this season and I'm looking back like I can see myself in you. I remember those days of when it was so fresh and wonderful and you were riding that wave and I want to get that again. I don't want to become a cynical burnout, trade it for a bowl of beans guy. I want to finish well.
Yeah.
But, being around you guys helps me, regenerates me. I love your passion, your energy.
Yeah.
Fresh way you do ministry. I'm so glad you're part of my life, and I'm so glad you're in this city.
I think it's cool that you're taking risks. You got more. You're expanding. You're not like, okay, we got something good. Let's just keep it safe and keep it.
No.
Right. You're growing. You're wanting more fruit. And willing to take risks.
The harvest here in Austin is so great, and so few laborers. Come on, where are my laborers? Come on, guys. I'm so glad y'all are here. But a thing about me is what's next. That's my life verse. What's next? I don't think that's in the Bible. What's next? I think my weakness is just settling down into going deep. I just want to keep going.
Yeah, right.
Long. Right. And so I keep planting churches because I may not want to deal with things in my own heart or where I'd have to go deep. So as long as I can keep something spinning, let's spin another plate.
Wow.
So that's a good and bad thing about me. But I'm hoping the Lord's working on me.
Yeah, part of that pruning. Let me just name something that I've learned from you over the last couple of hours. We just had lunch and we spent the whole time.
Papacita's Cantina, thank you for
Yeah,
sponsoring
our
us.
sponsor.
Thank you.
Asking you questions about ministry in the church and wisdom and all that, and you just gave us some complete gold. It was amazing.
Oh, I
but
doubt
you
that.
also spent a lot of the time, anytime we would ask a question, turning it back on us and using it as an opportunity to brag
sure.
about us and say how amazing. And what I love about what you're doing, and I'm learning this from you, is every single question that anybody ever asks you is an opportunity to bless them and to,
Yes.
to speak highly of them. And you carry that really, really well.
Thank you.
And I wonder if that's over the years a way that the Lord's helped you deal with a lot of those paper cuts that have come.
Think so.
Is as you've just learned to bless people. And so thank you for teaching us how to do that.
I mean, it says if those who refresh will be refreshed themselves,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of
I
times
feel
younger guys
refreshed.
come to a pastor who's been at it longer, and that guy's like, "Okay, let me take you to school. Like you don't know what you're talking about. Whatever."
You don't know the pruning.
You walk out. You walk out like maybe
Yeah.
learning a few things, but feeling kind of like discouraged in a
Yeah.
way. Whereas it's the opposite.
It's
You
the
know, with you, so
opposite.
thank you
You're
for
the
that.
opposite.
Yeah, because you.
I love you guys.
Well,
love
you
what
say
you're doing.
you say you love being around like our passion and stuff. I think that's why we have clicked so easily. You carry so much passion and energy and zeal
Yeah.
and just
Oh,
that
man.
grittiness and like let's build, guys. We got people to reach. There's a harvest here,
I
and there's
love
few
what you're
workers.
doing.
So let's step
I
it up and
know.
keep going. Yeah.
And there was a time, younger man, I resented people parachuting into Austin. Like, this is my territory. You telling me Denver's reached? Stay in Denver.
Yeah, actually, the Great Commission's done.
hear that, Jacob?
You're done.
Jacob's going to reach Denver.
You're done. But like, you're such an idiot. And what was that scripture about idiots?
Our calling
Yeah, what
verse.
is it?
When they saw that they were unschooled, ordinary men, they were astonished.
Talking about the disciples
knew that they
who
had been
started
with
the
Jesus.
church in the beginning of
Yeah.
Acts. The Greek word is idios.
That's
When they saw that Peter, James, and John and all the
It's us.
boys were idios.
We should have called this
Idiots.
podcast Idiots.
We thought about it. We really did. Yeah.
It's our tagline.
idiots. But I just was resentful. Like, this is my harvest. This is my field, my vineyard.
Yeah.
What a dummy.
Well, now you're so open-handed and encouraging and
Yeah.
thankful for other churches and the way that you talk about this city. Your dad planted a lot of seeds in this city.
He did.
You've planted a lot of seeds in this city. Your family's invested a lot. What are you hoping to see in Austin? What's
Oh,
the word you
man.
have
Good.
for the future for the church?
A great harvest. Oh, I'm so glad y'all are here. Lifting up our tired hands. This is just, everybody's wanting to move to Austin. But the churches that are alive and on fire, they're getting fewer. And a lot of my peer pastors are retiring. The people, the landscape looks so different. To know there's people like you coming into this city just blesses my heart. Need more like you. Need y'all to multiply churches. I just give them all to you if I can't do that, but I'd like to. I see such an awakening.
Yeah.
There's been 5 awakenings in church history, and all of them were incredible. The 5th one that's happening right now is not here. It's in China. It's in Central America. It's in persecuted places. It's in Africa. And where is America? Why can't this awakening, this spiritual awakening, come here? I believe it can. The Austin Awakening.
Let's go.
It's coming.
We even have the
Red
alliteration.
Rocks. Let's go.
Austin Awakening.
Austin
You know
Awakening.
pastors love a good alliteration.
Oh, you
Come
got to
on.
have it. Dre. Dre.
on.
The dynamic Dre.
Dynamic
I
Dre.
feel like something, man.
It's-
Something.
Yeah.
I keep hearing it from, and we're now seeing it. But I've heard it since we got here, starting with Will Davis.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Oh, Will.
he had just this vision of a storm, but a good kind of storm, like this powerful move that you almost look at the Doppler radar images of a hurricane, and the outer rings were just now moving over the city of Austin, and it's going to gain
Come on,
more and more
Lord.
traction and more speed. And I've heard visions from so many people of that exact thing.
Yeah, good.
Even when we moved here, we were planning, we had other cities in mind, and then all of a sudden, all of our details changed, including the city, and we found ourselves moving to Austin, Texas, and a big thing that God told us, not audibly, but just like impressed on our hearts was, we'll do a surfing metaphor. You don't have to create the wave. There's a wave that's coming. I need you to go there, and I need you to paddle to Austin and catch it. And something that, you mentioned a wave a couple of times, we feel like we are riding something at Red Rocks Church in Austin, and we are so aware and sober of the fact that it is a harvest of seeds we did not sow.
That's right.
And prayers that have been prayed for
Yeah.
a decade.
What was-
back
there
when
was-
back when we were even idios, squared.
Not even
Idios, unsaved. You know what I mean?
Your buddy
Like,
Tim Hawks was telling us about some, I think it was nuns way back
Yeah,
that
like
just
a
prayed
decade.
for years and years
Yes.
in Austin and then said, okay, you guys are here, go do the work. We're going
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Oh.
Those kinds of seeds planted so long ago that we get to,
There's so many giants of the faith that labored here
yeah.
that just
humbling.
till the soil,
Very.
planted in blood, sweat, and tears. My dad being one.
Yeah.
And to get to see you guys get to come in here and take it to a level we never could. I'm so proud of you. Well done.
Thank you.
Thanks, Randy.
Well, we're having fun.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
We're enjoying it.
Thanks for having our back.
Yeah.
Of course, everything I have is yours, sort of.
People from Life Family are like,
Back at
wait,
you. You can
Like
take
what?
anything
doing?
you see,
Wait,
you can
what?
take with you if you
And
want.
this
So.
is gold.
That's
Yeah.
That's going to be a really powerful night at Red Rocks Amphitheater.
Do you want to text John? Tell him.
Yep. So John, here is his number.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Oh, let's
This
get
is
him
kind
on
of
the
a full
line.
Should we
circle
FaceTime
moment
John
right
Tesh right
Get him on
now?
the line.
But I
No
can't
way.
show that to the
We
the
can't
people.
share his number.
It's not his private number.
A couple people will call him.
Yeah.
Then he'll be annoyed. Then he won't do the show.
Now, if I
right.
get him to Austin, how old is he?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I want to meet him.
70-ish.
Yeah. Somewhere in there.
If I get him to
There's a way to
Austin, will
find
you
out.
guys come see him?
Oh, my
Oh,
goodness.
absolutely.
We will
would.
be there.
We'll get him right here.
Yeah.
We will get
Dun,
people.
dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
Let me look him up.
That's right.
John Tesh.
What a legend.
Age.
71.
Young man.
He's young.
He's got a lot in the
John
tank.
Tesh, if you're
He needs
listening,
to come to
come to
Austin.
Austin.
You love John because you're from Colorado and
Red Rocks
Red
story.
Rocks.
We just
So-
grew up watching him.
But does any 30-year-old know who John Tesh is?
Not that
Nope,
we, just us
absolutely
and,
not.
and Ethan's brother
brother's a big
JJ.
fan.
Big John. My brother's a big John Tesh guy. My mom's a big Phillips, Craig, and Dean gal.
Look at that.
So no one in my family's a Chasing Rabbits fan.
Not
but
yet.
They're going to become
Not yet.
one.
yeah.
But every song on the Live from Red Rocks 1995, there's no lyrics in any song. It's all instrumental composing. We know it by heart.
We know it by heart.
Okay, I got two
Yeah.
fun questions to
Yep.
ask here. If you could go back and have a conversation with anybody from the Bible, but not Jesus, because that's the easy, and you can talk to him today, who would you go back and talk to, and what would you ask him?
Oh, David.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Tell me about songwriting. Tell me about
That's cool.
where a man after God's heart is that God favored him or he was just in pursuit of it. I don't know how you translate that. I kind of like, how did you pursue the Lord?
Wow.
How'd you?
good.
And then tell me about the day on the roof.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Yeah.
Because I don't want
You big
to.
goof.
Knucklehead.
You messed up.
Idios.
I don't want to get. I don't think he'd like. Oh, and this is what I want to do next. You know, have this major collapse of.
Yeah.
How do you stay off the roof?
That's right.
Like, as a minister,
Good.
with reputation, legacy, ministering to people. How do I stay off the roof? Because I've seen lately so many of my wonderful friends I've admired fall off the roof.
Maybe part of the answer is I think a lot of people maybe judge the people who do, and they don't learn anything from it.
But
And
how
saying,
do
you saying that you chose not to do that, not to celebrate
Yeah.
those things?
No.
Where the question we always say when those things happen, the question should be, okay, God, search my heart.
Yeah, that's
How
right.
can I learn to never do what just happened here? But most
Yeah.
people, it's like, I told you. but I would never. And that pride
Lord,
will
search his heart.
And then you find yourself on the
When
roof.
you hear of another story, like the first gut reaction, if that's to just fall to your knees and go, this could so easily happen.
Yeah,
to
that's
me.
right.
Yeah.
But I kind of go through sometimes, look at who all I'm going to have to explain this to.
Right?
I try to see myself on the church at the platform playing, okay, church. I see myself talking to my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Then I see myself on my knees talking to my girls. Like, you want to go through all that for what?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think in the moment, it just must be. So I would say, David, man, what was it like to stare down Goliath like that big old dude?
Oh,
What was
man.
it like?
Yeah.
Just all that stuff. And then tell me about the roof.
Yeah. Learn from his victories
How
and
can
his
you keep me
defeats.
off the roof?
Yep.
That's good.
That's so good. That's so
That's a
good.
really good answer. I love that. I love that imagery of just not even going up to the roof.
Yeah.
Don't go to the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's a
Don't
good
hang
sermon.
out on the roof and then
Don't
stay
hang out
away
on the
from that
roof.
corner.
That's step one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
There's
hang out on the
there's a
roof.
sermon there.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, this is a cliche question.
Okay.
But what's the burning question you have for God that you'd love to ask
Oh,
him
man.
or have an answer to?
Why he made it so difficult to spread the gospel. Why the limited of resources. Like, I see the kingdom of evil just flourishing. They can't get enough money. The porn industry, they're gross. They're what comes in for just pornography is greater than country's gross national product.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Why did you make it so hard for us to do what you call us to do? Why did you make dealing with people so hard for us? Why did you?
That's a good question.
Great question.
Why? Of course, he went to the cross.
Yeah.
He'll say, "Well, there's that."
Yeah.
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 Yeah, there's that.
Man.
And I haven't been to the cross, but why did you make it so challenging to do what you call us to do?
Wow.
To disciple people, to reach the lost.
That's a
I
good
feel
question.
that.
That took us down. Like,
Yeah.
womp, womp.
Mine was going to be mosquitoes. God, what's the deal
What?
with mosquitoes?
See, that's a better answer.
Those came out of the
Yours
fall.
was amazing.
That's a better
Those were
answer.
not in the garden pre-sin. There's no way.
Oh, dude.
Not a
the
chance.
worst.
Not a chance.
Not a chance.
You guys got any final questions for Randy? We got to let him get out of here in a second.
I just love that answer. I don't think that was. I think that was just more accurately describing what we all feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every single day, trying to do this thing, and to know that. I mean, for us, we're not alone doing this. We're not
Oh,
on an
no.
island. I'm grateful to get to do this with friends,
Oh,
new friends who
man.
believe in us, and we're fighting for the same thing. So I'm just very, very grateful.
Yeah.
For
Well,
you,
thank
your
you.
your legacy thus far, and what it will continue to become, and yeah, that God brought you into our lives just a
Thank
few months
you.
ago.
Well,
man.
you have to
I'm really proud,
open
pumped
your
about it.
open your arms. You know, you can't force your way into to relationships, and you guys just threw open your arms, and I'm so happy to embrace you. So glad
Yeah.
you're here.
I think it's a cool thing about legacy for a pastor. It's awesome if their legacy is the story of their church, but how much cooler is it when it's their church and then a bunch of others
That's right.
that they
Oh,
blessed
I
and
know
helped,
it.
you know?
That's
And
right.
that's guys like you, guys like Tim, you know, that have
Oh, Tim Hawks.
come alongside us while we're trying to
Yeah.
figure out all
It's
kinds
the
of stuff. It means a lot.
one person can put 1,000 to flight, 2 people can put 10,000 to flight. That's
It multiplies.
the multiplication is how math in the kingdom of heaven
I
works.
know, it's so great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Any last questions for?
no, man,
guy
we're
here?
we're just grateful for you.
Well, pre-sale tickets are going to go out
Chasing
for
Rabbits,
Chasing Rabbits.
obviously.
John
John
Tesh.
Tesh,
Yeah.
Phillips, Craig, and Dean.
Closing out the night.
And there will be a special package where if you buy a certain amount of tickets, you get a free signed copy of Single Today by
Yes.
Ryan Wekenman.
Yes, that's
right.
Yes.
All that,
Oh,
all
this is
that's
great.
coming.
This is great. It's going to be
Randy?
amazing.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Oh,
Thanks,
man.
Randy.
We'll have you back.
Yes, anytime.
Whenever
I
John
love
gets
Dre.
in town, we'll have him on here too.
Tesh.
We'll get him
I'll
on here
bring
too.
him on.
We
Get
can't wait
Tesh in here, man.
Get Tesh.
to hear him sing. Da, 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 da. But he has to sing.
He has to
Not
sing
but
it,
yeah. Would be amazing. Well, Randy, we love you,
Put
bro.
your piano
I
away.
love y'all.
We'll be seeing
thanks.
you back on here sometime soon.
I hope so.
Love
Thank
what you're
you.
doing at Life Family,
Thank
and
you.
good luck on your next venture there and all the expansion and fun things going on.
Keep spinning those
And
plates.
a shout out to Denise. for being married to Randy for 40 years.
And
Lord.
Denise and Papacitos.
Papacitos.
Yes,
Thank you.
Love you, Randy.